Mingalaba, welcome to MI Reader's Myanmar Today, where we bring you the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. I'm Henry Zin. First off, we have a report on Luto representative highlighting repair works of damaged roads on bridges being slow. Another report on earthquake and safety measures for buildings. A story coverage on more investments expected from Japan Expo. And lastly, a report on tourism and locals in Bagan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi visited the 4-story building for Women and Children's Hospital in Taungji on Tuesday and met with town elders and local people in Shan State. When meeting with the people, the State Councillor said, Taungji is a success story for our union. In Taungji, many ethnic nationals with different religious beliefs stay together in peace and harmony. This is a matter of pride and honor for our union, and it is a source of strength for us to visit such a region. It was known to all that we've been trying to achieve internal peace for decades. Ever since independence, the flames of war weren't extinguished yet. We want to do this for our future generation. We don't want to leave this burden to our future generation. She added by saying, if we can live peacefully in unity with full union spirit in Taungji, we can do the same with the whole country. But we'll need to put in efforts. Success couldn't be achieved by praying. We must put in our efforts. We must be persistent and persevere to strive on until we reach our aim and destination. She added on to say, for our country to develop, the mindset of each citizen needs to be correct. Not only the mindset, but effective support by work is also required. Hope or expectation not supported by work will become a dream that disappears. If hope or expectation is to be achieved, work must be done. State Councillor and Union Minister for Foreign Affairs Aung San Suu Kyi received Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, Thomas Carl Neisinger, on Tuesday at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Naypyidaw. The officials exchanged views on matters pertaining to the enhancement of bilateral relations and cooperation in various areas including education and vocational training between Myanmar and Germany. Vice President Henry Zin delivered a speech at the inaugural ceremony of the second Asia-Pacific Summit held at the Peace Palace in the Prime Minister's office in Phnom Penh, Cambodia on Tuesday. The Vice President met with the Vice President of the National Assembly of Cambodia and discussed promotion of friendship ties, closer cooperation in international issues, and investment of Cambodian business firms in Myanmar. Then, the Vice President also held talks with the President of the Senate of Cambodia on fostering bilateral cooperation, organizing ceremonies to diplomatic relations between the two countries, and promotion of bilateral trades. Henry Zin also called on Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen, where they discussed bilateral ties, trade promotion, investments, religious and cultural affairs, education, tourism, holding 65th anniversary of diplomatic establishment in 2020 between the two countries, and promoting cooperation in regional and international affairs. A delegation led by Vice Chairman of National Reconciliation and Peace Center and the Chairman of Peace Commission, Dr. Tim Myo Win, met with Restoration Council of Shan State Peace Negotiation Representative Group led by Sao Bong Khe at Chiang Mai, Thailand on Tuesday. NRPC Advisory Group member La Mon Shui said the meeting covered continuing the peace process. The main point covered RCS's attending Joint Ceasefire Implementation Coordination meeting. Discussions were also made on process to build trust, calling Joint Ceasefire Monitoring Committee meeting, regional development and general matters. International pressure on Myanmar was also covered in the meeting. In short, La Mon Shui said trust was established. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Dr. Chong Wei of Magui Region Constituency 10 said regional railway officers are repairing the damaged road on bridges at a slow pace. He raised a query on if the private construction companies will be assigned to repair the road in a more efficient manner. The Luto representative touched on this matter at the second Amyoda Luto 14th regular session on Tuesday.
Dr. Chong Wei of Magui Region Constituency 10 said the regional railway offices are repairing damaged road on bridges at a slow pace. He raised a query on if the private construction companies will be assigned to repair the road in a more efficient manner. The Ludo representative touched on this matter at the second Annuda Ludo 14th regular session on Tuesday. Dr. Zhang Wei of Magui Region Constituency 10 said,
There are various types of bridges over water. Bridge with roads for automobiles only, bridge with railway road, and bridge with both auto and railway road. Of these three types of bridges, respective railway officers are assigned to take care of the road and rail bridge. The Myanmar Railways helped to repair the damage on the road is quite slow. For example, I want to show Symbushin Bridge spanning over Chinrin River. There are potholes on that bridge. The 4,956 feet long Symbushin Bridge was opened in 1999. The bridge contains one railroad in the middle and two motor roads on each side. So I would like to raise query if there is a plan to assign the bridge maintenance and repair to the private construction companies on BOT system or to the respective departments.
Build, Operate, Transfer (BOT) or Build, Own, Operate, Transfer (BOOT) is a form of project financing wherein a private entity receives a concession from the private or public sector to finance, design, construct, own, and operate a facility stated in the concession contract. This enables the project proponent to recover its investment, operating, and maintenance expenses in the project. In response to the query, Deputy Minister for Transport and Communications Wu Zhongmyu said,
There are 11 bridges over rivers with road and railway. Of 11, Sakai Bridge, Mood Bridge, Share Bridge, Myogun Bridge, Mindong Bridge, Simushin Bridge, and Sindewa Bridge. The maintenance and repair for these bridges are taken care of by Myanmar Railways. And the maintenance for the rest 4 bridges, Tanlin Bridge number 1, Tanluin Bridge, Malone Bridge, Nyangdong Bridge is assigned to the Road Transport Administration Department. The Myanmar Railways, the Ministry of Construction and the respective departments are overseeing the repair and maintenance of the road on bridges. Indeed, the potholes big and small appear as the bridges are around for many years and the vehicles and trains come and go. With the allocated budget, we call for the tender to repair the damages. We have also planned to allot the budget from 2018 to 2019. These bridges are built with both roads and railway, so it is challenging to repair them. And so currently there is no plan yet to hand over the project to the private construction companies or other departments.
Ministry of Construction recently inspected road maintenance works along the Yangon-Pie-Magui Road. The Union Minister went to Boji Bridge on the Pie-Magui Road and inspected the bridge maintenance work. Preventive work conducted against erosion of approach road, status of waterway, and bridge piers. From there, the Union Minister inspected the construction project side of Ayawadi Bridge, Taya Aunglan in Magui Region. It was an important bridge that lies on the Economic Corridor Road that connects Jiaopu Special Economic Zone with Shuili, passing through Taya, Aunglan, and Naypyidaw. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on a Luto representative highlighting repair works of damaged roads on bridges being slow. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecasts in Myanmar. In Yangon, it'll be mostly sunny. Air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day, and the skies will be clear at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s, and there's an extremely low chance of rain for the day, so we may have to bear the Yangon heat as usual, and the winds traveling at 7 km per hour. In Naypyidaw, it's a nice weather with mostly sunny conditions during the day, and we'll have a clear night sky. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s as well, and there's incredibly low chance of rain for the day, but the winds traveling at 6 km per hour. In Mandalay, it'll be mostly sunny, a nice weather during the day, and the night will have a clear skies. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s, and quite unfortunately, we may have to bear the heat in the city, since there's really no chance of rain at all for the day. But if you love the sun, it's good for you. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. The earthquake that occurred on the night of 12th of November scared many of the residents in Yangon, especially those who live in higher apartments. According to the report by YCDC, there are a few buildings that need to go through proper renovation after the earthquake, but it cannot be concluded that all the buildings in Yangon are vulnerable to natural disasters. YCDC says it will make sure that the upcoming new buildings will go through proper measurements to withstand the possible threat of nature. Williamson reports.
The earthquake, which occurred in Yangon on 12th of November night, scared many of the residents, especially the people who live in high apartments, are worried that earthquake is a challenging threat to them. There were also some reports that some of the buildings got leaned after 4.1 Richter scale earthquake hit Yangon on that night. But according to YCDC, although many buildings in Yangon are vulnerable to natural disaster, the earthquake, which occurred on 12th of November, is nothing to do with reported leaned building. Speaking at YCDC regular press conference on 18th of November, Mehan, a committee member of YCDC, said YCDC inspected 20 reportedly leaned buildings in Yangon and found that 8 of them need to be repaired. He said,
City Development Committee has the responsibility to take care of the civilians from the day they are born to the day they die. On that night, earthquake hit Yangon. Mayor, vice mayor, and the committee members all went to the reported hardest hit areas and inspected the buildings. The purpose for the instant inspection is to get ready for possible damage which might result in. We wanted to make sure whether the people were safe enough or the situation was worse or not. As it was escalated on social media, fortunately the earthquake was not that severe as reported on media. After the incident, we conducted a survey on the impact of the earthquake, and the report shows that although it had a small impact, we cannot come to a conclusion that most of the buildings in Yangon are risky to live in.
Mehan also said that there are few buildings in some townships which are vulnerable to earthquake, one each in Bazunong and Dinganjun townships, 2 buildings in South Oklapa, 14 buildings in Tamui Township, and 7 buildings in Dopong. However, Win Dan, a committee member of YCDC, said that these buildings need not to demolish in fear of natural calamity. YCDC also stated that the leaned building needs to be repaired, and YCDC will ask the approval from regional government to repair the buildings, but the residents of the building might have to pay for the cost of the repair. Speaking at the press conference, Win, head of engineering department for buildings, said,
Since 2003, we started to consider the danger of earthquake for buildings in Yangon, especially for the building from 9-story and above. But we didn't include the building from 3 to 8-story building. But if we are to seriously consider the danger of earthquake in constructing the building, the cost of the building will probably go higher than the cost of construction. But from 2020, we will change the method and consider the danger of natural disaster in construction. But it is likely to increase the cost of the building 3 times higher than its usual cost. And after a recent incident of earthquake, we will soon consider necessary standard for 3 to 8-story buildings so that the buildings can withstand the possible threat of nature.
YCDC also stated that preventing ourselves from natural disaster is the responsibility of all the people, and the public needs to be alert all the times and prepare for the necessary requirements in building their homes or other related things. At the same time, the public also needs to stay alarmed and stay updated with all the latest news from the responsible departments. This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on earthquake and safety measures for buildings. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,515 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 216 kyats. €1 is at 1,677 kyats. £1 sterling is at 1,963 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,113 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 364 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,474. Silver is at $17, and Brent crude oil is at $55. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI dropped 500 and it's now at 11,500. MTSH dropped 50 and it's at 3,800. MCB is at 8,300. FPB is at 23,000. TMH remains at 3,000. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. The 8th Japan Expo was held at the Damodar Hall in Yangon from November 15th to the 17th with the purpose of foreign investment, job opportunities, technical exchange and industries equipment which are necessary for our country's economic development. A lot of activities like Japanese cosplay, kendo and entertainment activities were performed by J-pop artists. This expo will create enormous benefits for foreign investments in Myanmar. Our interns at MI Radio went to the expo and here's their report.
Japan Expo was held at Damodar Hall in Yangon from November 15 to 17 with the purpose of the foreign investment, job opportunities, technical exchange, and industry equipment which are necessary for our country's economic development. Japan External Trade Organization (JETRO), Embassy of Japan, Japan Foundation, and Directorate of Investment and Company Administration (DICA) organized the Japan Expo, and it's been 8 years organizing the Expo since 2011. Japanese products including food, medicine, technical equipment, infrastructure items, cosmetics, as well as hotel and tourism, communication sectors were exhibited. As Japan and Myanmar share a good relation as well as a good economic tie, Myanmar gets help from Japan. This expo will give a lot of benefits to the foreign investment in Myanmar. An organizer and managing director of Myanmar Promotional Services, Dr. Zani Mamang, tells us more about the purpose of the expo and the expectations.
Trade promotion mutual trade
We organized the 8th Japan Expo with the purpose of the foreign investment, job opportunities for the youths, technical and industry equipment which are necessary for our country's economic development. From this expo, there are other opportunities to exchange the social, politics, and culture, as well as it will lead to a strong relation in trade promotion between our two countries. So this Japan Expo has been organized since 2011, and a lot of Japanese companies come to invest in Myanmar nowadays. As we know, it was very difficult for us to find Japanese original products in the past. But now it becomes easy to find them directly from big companies which invested in our local market or from our agents. From such expo, for example, along with the car companies and the related spare parts companies will come to invest too. And also what we can do is the chain business, which do not need to import all the products from abroad. Let's say if we can locally produce here, we can contribute in the economic development from SMEs to the big industries.
In the 8th Japan Expo, there included not only exhibitions, but also a lot of activities like Japanese cosplay, kendo, and the entertainment activities performing by the J-pop artists. Moreover, the visitors can learn Japanese education system. Domya exhibitors and director of Myanmar Bagan Quality Limited, tells MI Radio about her experience and what she expects from this event.
This is our second time joining Japan Expo. We import Japan food products and groceries as these are hygienic and healthy foods for Myanmar consumer. We exhibit more than 70 items. In Myanmar, as we see, there are a lot of problems in food safety. Most people suffer a lot. As Japan has a good habit of eating healthy foods, we import such food products.
As Japan businessmen want to invest more in Dilwa Special Economic Zone, they come to Myanmar to learn about the local market. Deputy Managing Director of JETRO, Kundure, tells us more about the Japanese investment in Myanmar.
အခုဒီဂျပန်နိုင်ငံကမြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာလာရောက်ပြီးတော့ယင်းနှမြုပ်နှံမဲ့ကဏ္ဍမှာစိတ်ဝင်စားတာတော့ကုန်ထုတ်လုပ်ငန်းပေါ့ခင်ဗျာနော်ကုန်ပစ္စည်းတွေပါတယ်ကုန်ထုတ်တယ်ဆိုတဲ့ကုန်ထုတ်လုပ်ငန်းရဲ့ပြီးတော့
As Japan wants to expand in Myanmar market, they are mostly interested in Dilwa Special Economic Zone for more investment in manufacturing, agriculture, and livestock breeding. So it's very important to check the feedback from the consumers in these expos. We have to check their demands, their suggestions on the products, and from that, they will discuss whether to build factory in Myanmar or not. Over 100 companies are planning to invest in Dilwa Industrial Zone.
လာပြီးတော့သူတို့အဲ့ဒီမှာယင်းနှမြုပ်နှံဖို့ဆိုပြီးတော့အင်တာမစိတ်ဝင်စားမှုရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
That's a report on investments expected from Japan Expo. And here's the last report on tourism and locals in Bagan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Bagan is one of the most important tourist destinations in Myanmar. With its newly recognized status of World Heritage Site by UNESCO, many locals depend on tourism to earn their livelihood. But the locals say there is very little progress of tourism in the area even after Bagan received World Heritage Site. Williamson will tell us more.
Bagan is one of the hottest tourist destination spots in Myanmar for the local and international tourists. Tourists can be found in almost every corner of Bagan. Therefore, many of the locals do small business or even provide service to the tourists for their livelihood, like selling local products as well as running transport service. Tour guide service has also become a good way to earn their livelihood in Bagan as well. It might not be wrong to say that many locals in Bagan depend on tourism when it comes to earning their livelihood. Mimi Miano, who sells different kinds of lacquer ware at the pagoda site, said she has been selling products for years and this is the main income source for their family. Her customers are mainly domestic tourists as her items are also usable mostly for a typical Myanmar family household. The items she sells varies the price from 5,000 kyats to 35,000 kyats, and she said when the sale is good, she sells the items worth up to 700,000 to 800,000 kyats in a day. For her, the best-selling seasons are the Zamong, the Rinjot, and Shuizigong Pagoda Festival. But according to Min Teng, who has been selling lacquer wax for years from the time of his forefathers at Shuizigong Pagoda, said lacquer ware market has been declining in Bagan year by year as there are fewer craftsmen. Due to less number of craftsmen, lacquer ware are getting expensive in the market as well. He said,
Selling lacquer products is getting hotter and hotter here, and its price is getting higher and higher. The market is shifting from one form to another year after year, and the price is getting high even though the buyers are declining. The reason for a declining market is getting raw materials for lacquered products has become tougher and tougher. Therefore, there is no sign of improvement for this market in future. In my opinion, after 5 years from now, it will be really a hard time for us. And it doesn't mean that there will not be any lacquerware, but the price will be much higher than it is now.
According to U Min Thing, lacquer works are mostly sold to the domestic tourists, and Chinese are the only tourists so far from abroad who are interested to buy them. Running bugby is also one of the most popular rides in Bagan, and many tourists take bugby to enjoy the scene in Bagan. This is also one of the most productive businesses for the locals in Bagan to earn livelihood. However, with the coming of e-bike in Bagan with much cheaper price for full-day use, buggy owners are finding hard to earn livelihood as buggy is much pricey than e-bike. Speaking to the media, Ko Pyo-jo, who runs a buggy service, also said,
"ကျွန်တော်တို့Bagan မှာ site စီးခေတ်မရှိတော့ဘူး။ဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုတော့အခုလိုမျိုးကျွန်တော်တို့တနားရီပတ်စီလဲချခေတ်ပဲရှိတော့တာဗျ။
There is no more sightseeing era in Bagan because now we only have an hour ride sightseeing. One has to pay only 6,000 to 8,000 kyats for e-bike renting for full day, so most of the people travel by e-bike. Most of the people who come to Bagan are not able to pay for buggy ride, which costs about 25,000 kyats to 35,000 kyats. As we use horse to run buggy, we cannot even lower the price to 15,000 kyats. Even it costs 5,000 kyats in day to feed the horse. This is why it is better for us to go for an hour buggy ride at least 2 to 3 rounds in a day."
According to the report by locals in Bagan, even though Bagan was recently recognized as World Heritage Site by UNESCO, there's a very little change of tourism in the area and no sign of increased number of tourists in the area as well. But it all remains the same. This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
And that's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Now let's carry on with international news. The world is beginning to tackle the threat of plastic waste, according to the renowned broadcaster Sir David Attenborough. Describing plastic pollution as vile and horrid, he said there was growing awareness of the damage it can do. Sir David was speaking as he and the BBC's Natural History Unit, NHU, were announced as the winners of the prestigious Chatham House Prize for their Blue Planet 2 series of documentaries. Chatham House, a foreign affairs think tank based in London, awards the prize to people or organizations making a significant contribution to improving international relations. Its director, Dr. Robin Niblett, described plastic pollution as one of the gravest challenges facing the world's oceans. He said Sir David and the BBC Studios Natural History Unit played an instrumental role in helping to put this issue at the forefront of the public agenda. In other news, baby crocodiles found living in a remote region of Nepal give hope for the future of one of the rarest and strangest reptiles on Earth. With its distinctive long, thin snout, the gharial is unique but critically endangered, with fewer than 1,000 adults remaining in the wild. The discovery of 100 hatchlings is a boost for the potential recovery of the species, according to scientists. The crocodile is clinging to survival in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. Revealing details of the find, researcher Ricky Gums of Zoological Society of London said it was amazing to find the baby crocodiles basking on a sandbank in Bardia National Park. A study suggests video game players perform worse when being insulted, even when the insults come from a robot. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University asked participants to play a logic-based game with Pepper, a personal assistant from SoftBank. The robot switched between giving players encouragement and mild insults. Gamers played better when Pepper stayed positive, but made less rational decisions when the robot gave them grief. Previous research has indicated insults can cause performance to suffer in competitive environments. A study published earlier this year, for example, found gamers playing Mario Kart became distracted when their opponents used abusive language. Pepper's insults were mild compared with some of the abuse gamers face online. The robot might call an opponent a terrible player or say their playing has become confused. Well, that's going to wrap it up on today's Myanmar Today. Thank you for joining me and hope you have a pleasant day. I am Henry Zin. See you again.